Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today is my April monthly musings, and if you're new here or you've never watched one of these, what this video is about is things that I've used in my practice, things I've used with clients, anything about my personal life that I would like to share, and little, I guess, tidbits thrown in here and there. It's just a ramble, basically, which I'm going to do here in the beginning. So you may want to fast forward if you want to just see what decks I use or things about my practice. But I'm going to talk a little bit about some projects we've done around the house and things like that here in the beginning. So I don't know about anybody else, but April went by for me in the snap of a finger. It was just like it started out and then here we are at the end, and I don't know what happened in between. That's exactly how I feel. The beginning of the month we had horrendous weather. It was torrential downpours. We had more rain in a day's period than we get in a whole month and a half. Our river flooded. All the streams and creeks have flooded around the area, from our area all the way downriver. It was bad. Some of the surrounding towns people had to have their basements pumped out because of the flood. We are pretty high up on a hill, so I don't have to worry about that. However, the rains were so bad, our yard turned into a swamp and our tree fell over. So the very first half of the month was trying to get a hold of someone to get an estimate to get this tree cut up and taken out of our yard. It is gone, it is removed. However, on the flip side of that, all my azalea bushes have bloomed. They're so pretty. This is my favorite time of year because they do not last but, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks. And they've all bloomed and they're just beautiful. My lilacs and my irises are starting to come up. So I'm really happy about that because I get to, partake in their beauty for just a little bit. And I harvest some of the blooms from those plants, and matter of fact, I have lilac and azalea drying on my windowsill right now, and as it dries then I'll add it into my little apothecary things for, if I would happen to need it later. And then here at the end of the month, it's like beautiful weather. We've had weather that is temperatures higher than what they normally are at this time. So we've been taking advantage of it and getting all of our outdoor projects done so we can enjoy summer. 19 cans of spray paint, 2 gallons of porch paint, and everything that could be painted outside has been painted. 3 porches done, all the railings done, and we transformed our chain link fence. And we transformed that from silver to all black. So it turned out beautiful. I love it. And yeah, that was 2 days of me and him outside for 16 hours each day doing everything out there. I tried to get all the black off my hands. My hands are tore up, but yeah, that's what we've done. And we made a round trip down to my kid's college to bring home 90% of his belongings, because from the day I am filming this, he will be home for the rest of summer in 2 days. And he had, oh my God, I don't know how so much stuff ended up down in that room of his, but he is almost done and I'm going to be happy to have him home. Anyone who's been here for a while knows what a difficult transition that was for me, him leaving the nest and going away to school. And it actually, I would say, took me until probably February of this year to get myself into a groove, to be used to him being gone and to feel okay with it. And I got myself in this routine, and now he's coming home and that routine's gonna change again, but that's okay. That's okay. So I'll be happy to have him home. here. So yeah, like I said, April has been a complete and utter blur. So in regards to that, I did my intention video as a VR to Angel at Feeding My Soul at the beginning of the month, her channel. And needless to say, I didn't read the big magic. I didn't have time. There was just so much other things going on. I got some new clients and I was, really busy with readings this month. So I didn't get a chance to read any of that. It's still on my to be read list, and I'm going to try to make that a priority in the month of May, especially since we got our side porch together. Just did that the other day, and it's all ready for me to sit out there and spend time reading. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. So let's talk about the rest of my practice in the month of April. So I said that I was going to use these 3 decks, and that is exactly what I did. I'm going to be honest, when my life is pretty good and I'm not feeling a bunch of turmoil or things like that, I don't often pull tarot cards. I will pull an oracle or whatever for guidance. Not that I journal it or anything, but I prefer using my oracle decks when things are going good in my life. It's when I'm in chaos or have a problem to solve is when I tend to go to my tarot. And like I said, things have been pretty good for me. So I haven't really felt the need to use tarot for guidance or anything. But I did focus on my chakras in the month of April, and I focused on my health and getting back into my body. That's where these decks come in, and I'm going to talk about that. So this is the Healthy Witch Oracle cards, and this was gifted to me by a friend for Christmas. They're by TJ Perkins, and I've talked about these briefly on my channel before. TJ Perkins doesn't have any medical background or anything, and I do have the bigger book that it's like a companion to this, but I do have I have a medical background. I worked in the medical field, not as a nurse, but I did work in the medical field for 14 years, something like that. And I have medical professionals in my family, so I know about, medicine, I guess, to an extent. So I didn't, let's show the cards here. So I didn't use these as necessarily medical guidance because let's take stomach here. It's card number 1. That'll be easy to find. So the stomach says, pay attention to me. How has your stomach been feeling lately? Many people associate gut with their stomach. When your stomach is not feeling its best, you will experience reflux and cramping. And, she has that kind of stuff written there. And then it has an association to a rune, a zodiac sign, a tarot card, a crystal, and then a meditation. I didn't really use this guidebook. I kind of would glance at it and maybe pick something out. Like I have reflux issues all the time. So if stomach came out, I would kind of take that as a cue about my own thing that I already know about. So I didn't, like I said, use her book in regards to any medical information. So what I did was, let me see if I can find one that came out for me. Okay, so like heart came out, and then I pulled some cards from the Inner Voice Tarot. This is a tarot deck of affirmations. And then I kind of just pulled 3 cards to go around it to see what I needed to know about heart. Why was heart coming out for me? And then I would look to these for the answer. So just in case you haven't seen the Inner Voice Tarot before, I really enjoyed using this. And I liked the affirmations that were on it. So I could use it for the affirmations. I could use it for the keywords that were on it, or just, you know, as a regular tarot if I wanted. But I really used it kind of for the affirmations that were on the deck. If the affirmations didn't make sense with the card that I pulled out, then I pulled in the traditional tarot meaning and looked at it from that viewpoint to see, you know, how I felt about it. And I really did like using it that way. I didn't pull too many. I think I may have pulled one card a week and then kind of worked with that. Like, I knew that the heart, and I can't remember the cards now that came out with it, but it was something about moving your body and stuff like that. So I knew exactly what that meant. I needed to stop being so sedentary that week and get up and move myself around. And there were some other things. I think another card was about relationships. And so it really did fit the way that I was working with these healthy witch cards. It really did work in that regards. Like I said, I didn't use the guidebook, and I did want to state that this person doesn't have any medical background. So, you know that if you're going to do some sort of work with that. But I really did enjoy the decks, which I wasn't sure how I was going to like that healthy witch. And using it like that in combination with the tarot and in my own way, I did really like that practice. And the other one I did for myself was I used the Feel Your Chakra Oracle. This is an independent deck. I think this is still in print. I don't really know. This is by Andy Taylor, Metaphysics Made Easy. I think that's the name of her website, and I think that's the name of her Etsy store. So you could always check there for this deck. But yeah, I did a couple chakra readings for myself. If you haven't seen Amethyst Ascension's channel, Rochelle, she has been doing chakra readings all month and sharing spreads that she created. So be sure to check those out because she has some really nice spreads for the chakras. So yeah, my practice was very low-key this month, and I was okay with that because I was busy doing other things. So the deck I used in my client group is the Waite Tarot deck. I told you in my deck comparison video that I'm not going to read for myself with this deck. And even using it for some clients, I had some good readings with it. But for me personally, this deck is just meh. What I did in my private group, this is a paid membership group, was the month before I had clients pick numbers. I had them pick a season. I had them pick a court card. And was that it? I think so. Oh, a season, a court, and a number. Yeah. So I had them do that at the end of March. And then I took everything that they told me and made guidance for it. So basically, the Court of Pentacles was the only suit where all four courts were picked. And so that was our ruling energy for the month of April. And then if another court card would come up during guidance, then that was like a challenge to the court cards or whatever. And then if their number came up, or a version, if it was a double number like 14, if 14 or 5 came out, then that was a day that they really needed to pay attention to guidance and notice what was prevalent for them in that day. And if their season came out, more significant for them. So yeah, this was, I think, the only deck that I used for them. And I think I mentioned already that reading that I did for everybody in my Spirit Talk 4, I had offered that to them for free in that group. So, yeah, like I said, this deck is just, I don't know, it gives really good readings, like in a individual type reading, but it was just so meh. I'm kind of over this deck a little bit, but I'll keep using it for clients since it gives good readings for them, but I'm ready to move on from this deck, honestly. So a new deck that I got in, I can't remember if I got this in at the very end of March or the very first couple days of April, but this is the Sonder Oracle. This is an independent deck. It only cost me $25, and that included the shipping. This is by Mountain Moon Tarot. I found her on, it actually started coming up on my Instagram feed, so that's where I found her. But mountainmoontarot.com, I believe she has this for sale still. And how many cards are in here? There are 52 cards in this deck. And these are all pictures that she took. It's made of 52 cards with 52 words on 52 pictures for the 52 weeks in a year, is what she has written in this little pamphlet. And then she has like this little pamphlet. The only thing about this pamphlet, it's not in alphabetical order. The cards aren't numbered, so I would have preferred the pamphlet to be in alphabetical order, but I don't really even use it, so it doesn't matter. But if you watched my last VR that I did, I showed this deck, and I really like this deck. It is super slippery, but it's easily shuffleable. Is that how you say that? And I really like it. I said in that video that I was very drawn to photographic decks right now, and I do like this one. And the keywords are nice. Nice jumping off point. You can just look at the image, look at the keywords, and just, you know, either take that all in, one or the other, however you want to do it. Maybe just an element. Maybe what you see here is the rock, and that's the element that you take from this card. So I think it's a sweet little oracle to have. And like I said, it has 52 cards, and I think that's a nice size oracle. So I'm pretty sure she still has some left, but you can check her out. These are the backs. They're beautiful. I really do like them. And another deck I got in just a couple days ago, and this is the new edition of the Bonfire Tarot. I was just happened to be scrolling Amazon one day, and this was on sale for, I think, $16.75. And I didn't buy it that day because I thought maybe it was a knockoff or something. So I didn't. I ignored it. And then I started looking into it a little bit more and realized that it wasn't. It was an original deck. And when I went to order it, it was $19. So I still got it for under $20, which is a really good deal because I think it was 30 something originally priced on there. And I just find this deck so intriguing. I really love it has such a fiery energy to it. I mean, I guess because it's called Bonfire, you know, it does. It's just, and I don't have anything in my collection, I think, that has this same fiery in your face energy. I really like, believe it or not, the busyness of the imagery because it's going to force me to really slow down and take my time with this deck to see what is going on. I don't feel it's a deck that I can rush through and I can't wait to use it. I don't know when I'm going to use it yet, but I really can't wait to use it. I just think the images are beautiful, and I never had the first edition. I've watched walkthroughs and side-by-sides of the first edition to the second edition, and as far as I'm concerned, the second edition is fine for me. The only thing that I was surprised about, and I guess I should have read the description, is I didn't realize how small the cards are, but that's okay. I like them. I think they're a decent size. This is another deck that I got in, and I think that's it. I think so. I don't know. I've kind of lost track of decks that I've shown on here. I'd have to go back and watch my videos, but yeah, so I'm anxious to use this, and when I get a chance to use it fully and really, really work with it, maybe I will do like a pairings video and then tell you how I feel about it. And the reason I'm saying it like that is because I did that pairings video and talked about the Unfinished Business Tarot before I had done a deep dive on it, and my opinion of that deck completely changed. I mean, completely changed after I did the deep dive and really looked into the cards and the guidebook, and I felt differently. So before I go and, you know, start pairing and talking about this deck, I would like to use it a little bit and then come back and tell you what I think of it. One thing I do want to say is I had some people reach out to me on videos about how they can contact me for readings, how they can join the one Facebook group where I share my availability, special reading offers, and that sort of thing. All that information is linked all the time in my description box of every single video. I always try to put that information down there. So if you're interested in getting a reading from me, my email is down there. But honestly, the best way is through my Facebook group, because you'll see what days I have available. You'll see what offers I am putting forward at that point in time, reading wise, and then you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. And I see those usually before I see my emails. But if you're not on Facebook, please check the description box for my email, and you can always email me if that's something that you're interested in, or if you follow me on Instagram and that's something you're interested in, contact me through private message there, and I can talk to you about it there. So I think that's all I'm going to share today. So thanks so much for being here and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't followed me already, think about subscribing. And until I see you next time, bye.